Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this series of videos we have been working on AZ300 series labs, which is for the Microsoft Azure Architect Technologies exam. So in this lab we are going to start working on configuring and managing virtual networks, and the lab is about the same thing, managing, configuring network peering, and then also performing service chaining. Now all these labs are available on the GitHub for Microsoft Learning, and I'm going to give you the link to this site in the video. Let's get started with the lab. So the object scenario is Dayton Corporation wants to implement service chaining between Azure Virtual Networks and its Azure subscription. Objective: after completing this lab, you will be able to deploy Azure virtual machines by using Azure Resource Manager templates, what we have done quite a bit so far. Configuring VNet peering, we have also done this if you have watched my AZ500 exam series videos. Implement routing, we have done a little bit of it that we're going to do again. And validate service chaining. So we're estimating this lab may take 45 minutes. If it takes too long, I may break this video or the lab into 2 parts or maybe 3 parts, and you will just have to watch the other videos once we complete a section. Alright, the first exercise is creating an Azure lab environment by using deployment templates. The main task for this exercise: create the first Azure virtual network environment by using an Azure Resource Manager template, and then create the second Azure virtual network environment by using an Azure Resource Manager template. Alright, so what we want to do, we want to get on to our Azure portal, and what we'll do, we are going to go and open up a Cloud Shell. And this, if you never been to the Azure and opened up a Cloud Shell, then you only have to do, if you already used your Cloud Shell, you will not need this step 3. So what we're going to do, we are going to create AZ group create. So that's, we already know that's creating a resource group. This is going to be the name of the resource group, and it's going to be deployed in location, and my favorite is East US, so I'm going to use that. And it looks like we're going to create two different resource groups, right? And we're going to use the same location, okay, for both of the resource groups. Once that's done, we're going to upload the Resource Manager templates that's available from this lab to our Cloud Shell environment, and then we are going to run AZ deployment group create, and then resource group, and then we're going to provide template des file. This is going to be the template file, and parameters at. So notice, for the parameters you need to provide that at symbol in front of the parameters file. Okay, it seems pretty simple, so let's get on to it. So let's go to our environment, click on this. Let's see if I have a storage account available for my Cloud Shell environment. If not, it's going to ask me to create one storage account. So this does not take this long to open. If that happens, I usually just refresh my window and see if that resolves my problem. Okay, now at least bash showed up. Now things are happening. Looks like it's going to PowerShell, but we do not want PowerShell, we want the bash, so let's just move it. Alright, so now we got it. So the things that we are running is pretty straightforward at this time. So let's just go over here, get this, go to our environment, paste. So again, so this is going to create one resource group, and the only thing you need to change here is I'm gonna use East US. If you have another region that you like, go for it, use it. And so that one has created, you see the succeeded, so provisioning state, so that means my resource group has been created successfully. Let's get the other one. So we'll just paste the command over here, and for this one as well, East US, and we're gonna create another resource group, and that's also succeeded, so I'm happy with both deployments. And now it's time to upload these files. Okay, so let's copy the location, and we are on step 5, just kind of remember that. Okay, so let's come over here. There's some commands that I'm keeping over here, useful commands. Let me keep one of these commands over here as well. Alright, so we want to go there. So you just need to go over here, go to instructions. No, you gotta go to the top folder, and then all files, and then just take a look at AZ300T02, AZ300T02 under this folder. You're gonna go to module 03, so there we are. And then we need Azure deploy 401 JSON. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get all 3 of them and download it. Okay, you probably end up needing all 3 of them. So this one is the parameters file, and which this is you're sending the parameters that your template file is gonna use, like your username and the password. I'm just gonna click on raw and save as AZ300. Let's just say new folder, AZ300 GitHub, and I'm gonna save this, come back over here. So you get the first, this is 401 deploy. So let's get this file as well. So pretty much this is gonna deploy 2 different virtual machines, and we are gonna get the other one, which is 402.json. So let's go to raw and save. So there we are, we have everything that we need. So the next thing we need to do, let's just go back to our lab, right? So instructions, we're working on this lab, and we are on step 5. So we're gonna upload 401 and Azure deploy 401 and parameters file. Okay, so let's get, and the way you upload is just click on this tiny button over here that is for upload and download files. Click on upload, and we're gonna upload the 40. We know that we need the parameters file, so let's upload that, and 401 is what we need. So upload 401. For some reason they're telling you don't need the 402 just yet, so I don't need it. And then I'm gonna run this command, and this command will take all of it, all the parameters, and it will just use this ARM template for the deployment. Let me see if there's anywhere we need the location. We don't, so everything looks just good. So hit enter, and it should start the deployment. So since we said no wait, it's gonna do the deployment process in the background. And here also it says, hey, do not wait for the deployment to complete, but proceed to the next task. So what is the next task? Create the second Azure Virtual Network environment by using the other file. So now it's time to upload the other 402.json, that's file. And what we're going to do, we're going to run another command which is going to deploy the other virtual network and everything else using that template. Okay, that uses the same parameters file. And what is doing, it's deploying Azure Virtual Network, hosting Azure VMs, running Windows Server 2016 data center. So let's just run this command, and again you said no wait, so it's gonna start as a background process. Now while this is happening, we are in the resource group, so let's refresh. At least we should be able to see the two resource group that we have created, and these are the two resource groups. If I go into lab 401, that's the one we have already started the deployment, and it already says the deployment is successful, it succeeded, right? So in this one I'm expecting that I have everything, and it is. So it looks like I have two virtual machines and associated components like the IP address, the network security groups, the network interface card. Everything is done. The deployment is done for the first, using the first template in this resource group. So let's go back to the other resource group. Oh, look at that, this one says this deployment is done as well. So that's very, very fast deployment that we have today. Now the second task is the configuring the VNet peering. VNet peering is excellent and I love that feature. So I don't have to worry about creating a gateway subnet, anything like that. If I just need connection between two virtual networks that I've created within Azure, I can use this feature to communicate, to talk to one to another very quickly. Okay, it's really, really nice, really easy, intuitive, and it uses the Azure backbone, so your traffic does not even traverse through the internet. And I prefer, I like the Azure backbone better than the traffic going to the internet, right? So let's see, how do you configure a VNet peering? So if you have never done, you pretty much all you need is go to one of the subnets, and once you create the peering from one network to another, usually it creates the backward peering as well. Let's see how to do that. So let's find this virtual network. Okay, so all you need to do is come back to your Azure, search for the virtual network. Here it is, so click on it, and on this network all you need to do, go to peering, and you see there's no peering available right now. So what you need to do, we need to create some peering. So create a VNet peering, and we're going to configure the peering with this requirement or the direction that they have given us. So we'll just create a peering because I have none. So this is the name they want us to use in the lab. Resource Manager is good, subscription is always good. Now virtual network, so if you click on it, this is the network from which you are trying to create. So you cannot be paired with this virtual network, so you cannot use that one. This is the only other network that's available right now, so pretty much you're going to select that one. And if you look at the lab is gonna say the same thing. Second network, we also have to configure the name of it. So what is the name? So that is the name of it. Configuration, I usually keep this enabled and usually leave this in the default state as well. I don't enable them unless I have a need to, but let's look at the lab. Yeah, so this one also saying just keep it enabled, and then other two leave it as disable. We'll talk about more about when exactly you need the forwarded traffic from this virtual network to the second virtual network, maybe in a different video. It just needs some little bit of theory and understanding. Okay, so we're pretty much done with this configuration, so you can say okay. So that should go through the creation. of this, and you see that it actually, you have two different jobs that got started. Okay, so one is from this network to the other, and other from the second network to the first. So what you see, the peering status is connected, gateway we have not enabled, so there is nothing there. Now if you go back to the other resource group and go to this network, virtual network, so this network, in this network we have not created any peering, sorry, the peering is over here, but here look at that. So as I said, from one, when you join the peers, you're also configuring the backward traffic from the other VNet, so it's, everything is good. You can click on this as well, and it's also gonna tell you the properties. Okay, so your virtual network access from this VNet to the other VNet is enabled, and just like the other one, forwarded traffic is right now in a disabled state. Alright, let's come over here. Now we need to implement some routing. So routing within Microsoft Azure, if you don't use any routing, then it's going to use the default routing that Microsoft automatically used to route your traffic. So let's see, what are we going to do over here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to enable the IP forwarding. Then we're going to work on configuring user defined routing and configure routing on Azure VM running Windows 2016. So first task is enable IP forwarding. So we're gonna go to one of the network interface card NIC2, and we're gonna modify the IP configurations by setting IP forwarding to enable. So we are not doing this at a subnet level, we are going after the network interface card. Okay, so let's go here. So if you go and open up, so this interface card, by the naming convention, you can pretty much you understand this network would be attached to VM2, and it's also set over here. So pretty much you are configuring VM2 where you're going to allow the IP forwarding. So IP configurations here, by default the IP forwarding is disabled. You are enabling the IP configuration and you're saving these configurations. Okay, and you can see over here what it's doing. It's all good. Now it says everything is done. So over here, so we have done that. Now what we need to do next to create, we need to create a route table. Okay, I don't have any route table yet, and we're going to use this name for the route tables. Just come back to your Azure portal and just search route table, and here we are, route tables at the second in the search list. So here click add, and it's going to give me another window, and name is this, subscription, use whatever you're using. And let's see, resource group, they're saying use this resource group. Let's see if that resource group is available or it's something that we are creating. I think it's a new resource group. No, it already exists. So 402, so that's 402. So we are going to create this route table inside 402 resource group. Okay, a location, I'm going to use East US. That's what everywhere, all other resources are deployed at this time. Location, the same Azure region, so we have done that. Virtual network gateway route propagation is disabled. So let's see over here, this one, gateway route propagation, right now we are disabling that one. What else we need to do? Once the creation of the route is finished, go to the resources. So let's create this resource now. I think we got what we needed. And once this is done, it will have a button where you can click on the button to go to resource. So that's gonna give you the route table instance, and where you can now do some work on it. Okay, configure the way you want. So let's see what else we need to do here. So in the Azure portal, on the route table, click on routes under settings and add a route with the following settings. So now this is the route that we want to apply. So what is the name of the route? Is custom route to 401 VNet. Okay, so come over here, go to your routes. There's nothing is present at the moment, so this is the route name. Let's see, address prefix is 10.0.0./22. Okay, next hop is a virtual appliance, so that virtual appliance, and what is the hop address is 10.0.1.4. okay, 10.0.1.4, and that you can click on OK. That's going to create that routing rule for you. In the Azure portal, associate the route table with subnet 1 of AZ300 VNet. So what we need to do, let's go to that virtual network. So let's go back, let's go over here, go to resource group, go to this resource group, then let's open up our virtual network, VNet. In VNet we have only one subnet is available right now. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. So what we need to do, we need to associate the route table with this subnet. So let me open up that route table one more time, come over here, that's the route table we have, and subnets, we have nothing associated with this route table right now, and we want to associate the route subnet from 402 resource group. So let's click on that one, and there is only one subnet that you can associate because that's the only subnet available. So just click that and hit OK. So that should do the trick, and with that we are done with this part of the lab. Next, what we need to do, configure routing on an Azure VM running Windows Server 2016. So in this one, we gotta create a remote desktop session to this VM, and we gotta configure some more stuff. So let's do that. So let's go over here, find the machine. Now I'm not going to teach you how to do the RDP. If you're using Windows, it's real easy. You just download that file, hit connect file, and this just get onto it. I'm using a Linux machine, so I'm going to use one of these clients that I have. Sometimes these clients does not give me enough real estate, and I have to play with it a little bit sometimes, but most of the time they work just fine. Your username is student, and this is my password. So let's get that one, put it in there, hit OK. So I should be connecting to that particular machine right now, and I am. So once we are connected, install the remote access role. Okay, so that's what you need to do. In the server manager, click manage and then click add roles and features. That's what we need. So server manager usually opens up automatically, so let's just give it a minute. Yeah, it's coming up. So as soon as this is here, I think what we want, let me see, we want click manage and then install the remote. Click manage and then click add roles and feature. Add roles and feature. I think that's all you need. This is what I was talking about. It does not give me a lot of real estate sometimes, which causes problem for me time to time. Let me see. Go back. Can I move this just a little? I don't know if you can tell the problem that I have. I don't have the next button completely available to me with this small window size that I'm dealing with. So give me a second. I'll have to increase that screen size and be back. Alright my friends, I'm back. Now I have increased the screen size. Now I have the buttons available that I need. So let's see what I need to do. I'm here, I'm going to click on next. Role based or feature based? I think role based, feature based. Let's go back and read what you need. Role based, feature based, click next. On the server selection screen, leave the default server selected and click next. Default server is fine, so hit next. And I think from here you need to choose the remote access. Okay, we're on remote access. Remote access is this. Alright, remote access. On the feature screen, leave default selected and then click next. So we're not changing anything. On the remote access screen, click next. On the services screen, place a check mark next to routing. I think this is all good. Do I have a routing in here? No, I think I have to go to the next. Next. Yeah, so role services, we need the routing on. So click on that one. On the confirmation screen, click next. So here I guess you have to say add feature. Hit next. Next. I guess everything looks leave whatever is your default and start your installation process. So that's where we are. So in the remote desktop session to this VM from Service Manager, click tools and then click on routing and remote access to open the RAS console. Routing and remote access console. Okay, so which VM are we on? So this is the VM where we are right now installing this console right now. So I'm just going to pause the video. Once this installation is complete, we'll come back and we'll start working on these labs. I think this lab is not that long, so we're going to complete the 2 other sections in the same lab and be done with it. So we'll have only one video for this particular lab. Just give me 1 second, stay there, I'll be back. Okay, we are back in a second, but I have to wait probably 5 minutes. Anyway, so if you see the screen, it says the feature installation, configuration required, installation succeeded. Okay, so now we can hit close. So from here, next thing we need to do is to go to the console, right? So open the RAS console. So we're going to click on tools and then click on routing and remote access. So where are my tools? my tools and routing and remote access. If I click on this, so that console is now available to me. In this console, right click under the name of the VM and select configure and enable routing and remote access. So here, right click and select configure and enable routing and remote access. So click on that. So what it's doing is it's starting the routing and remote access server setup wizard. Excuse me. In the routing and remote access server setup wizard, select custom configuration under configuration and enable LAN routing. Okay, you may receive a warning. Click OK. So let's click next, and what we want, I need a custom configuration and I want LAN routing. Okay, so that's what we needed for this one, right? And then start routing a remote access service. Then finish. Now once you're done finish, you're ready to start. So say start the service. So please wait while this service finishes initialization. Wait until it starts. It looks like everything is well and good now. Now in that same VM, click start and then click Windows Administrative Tools. So click on start and then Windows Administrative Tools. I need one of those tools there. Launch the Windows PowerShell with advanced security. Launch Windows Firewall with advanced security. So and we're gonna configure the inbound rules. Let's see if I have the firewall. It's right there. Inbound rules. We are in the inbound rules now. Look at the file and printing sharing inbound rule. File and printing sharing. So let's see. File and printing sharing. Looks like there's a whole bunch. Let's see which one. Echo request ICMP. Echo request. I want to make this a little bit bigger. It's not giving me the bar to extend it. So okay, let's take, that's ICMP P V4. What is this? That's V6. So V4 is what I need most likely. V4. Right click and say enable rule. So right now you see there's no green tick mark. So if I want to enable this one, you right click and you say enable. Now this rule is now enabled. So this is all we needed, and at this time we can validate the service chaining. Okay, so configure Windows Firewall with advanced security on Azure VM. Test service chaining. So what we have to do next, configure Windows Firewall with advanced security on target virtual machine VM1. So we need to go to that VM. So we have been working on VM2 so far. So let's go to VM1, and for VM1 it's a different IP address. So get that IP address. So from here, let's go back. Let's see if I can get a new window. I just need an instance of this. It's not giving me. Let's see. Let's just do RDP again. It's still giving me the running window. So let's maybe try to use the other one for a second. And alright, we are still trying to go to the VM1. So let's hit OK. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're going to open up the firewall and we're going to allow the ICMP traffic on this particular virtual machine as well. So again, click and then Windows Firewall and Advanced Security Console. Here. So start this one, and again we're gonna go to inbound rules, and we're gonna find file and printer sharing. For this ICMP traffic, we're gonna enable this rule. And right there it says tick mark, that it means everything is good. So now I can close this one out. So now we have allowed, so now we can test the connection. So from we're already in VM1, what we can do from the VM1, we can run this command and open up I'll just open up a PowerShell. And I'm gonna paste that command, and I'm gonna run it, and let's see what happens. Verify the test is successful and note the connection was routed over 10.0.1.4. Computer name, remote access, alias, ping succeeded, yes. It's not telling me 10.0.1.4 right from that output. Let's go to the other VM as well. I think I'm still logged into the other VM. Okay, even from this one as well. This one, this particular client, I have trouble typing things, so this looks like it's not working very well for me, so I have to use another client to log into this machine. Let's see if I can. Well, I cannot type even if I get to the, so this client, I use it to get some more real estate, but it's also not the base client for me. Okay, so let's get out of that machine. Before I go to that machine, I want to do one more thing. In here, this is a trace route command. Okay, so I want to run one more command, trace RT, and do this. Okay, and okay, it went. It seems like I'm getting the information back directly, so I'm not seeing that it's actually going through I'm not seeing that it's going through 10.0.1.4. Okay, let's go back and let's verify the VM IP addresses that I have. Okay, so we have three virtual machines that we deployed, VM1, and at this time I'm looking at what the IP address. VM1 is 10.044. Okay, that's the private IP address. Okay, VM2 is 10.014, and this is where we have installed the routing. Okay, and VM1 in the other one. Oh, I see. I gotta go to that VM most likely. That's what they're trying to say. This one has 10.004. So I think we have to go. Hold on. This one is. We have to go to 300401 VM1, and I think we went to the other VM1 in the other resource group. So that's why it's not. So we gotta go to this VM1. Okay, so what is the IP address is this 40.80.149.87. Let's see, let's go back to this is the IP address that I have. Okay. Student. And I'm going to use this password one more time. Hit OK. I think we already logged into this machine. Yeah, this is what we're working on. So it's that we did right. So we did this one right. And then we needed to go to VM1. So we did that right. So now we need to go to VM2 to do our testing. So let's go back. Get that one. Get that one. Get. Now this is the right IP address. Alright, so here go to the other one. This one we have not been, so that's why it's asking for the certificate. So you can go student and get the password one more time. Now we are connected. So from this one, now if I do a parcel window, we're almost there, guys. I don't think I need to enable the ICMP in this machine because we are not going to test our ICMP connection to this machine. Rather, we're going to use this machine to check connection to the other machines. So let's open up a PowerShell and we're just going to type out the command one more time and hit enter. This one should be routing my traffic through the other VM, and there we go. So the traffic is going through 10.014. So now, as far as the lab is concerned, we have completed everything. So now one thing I still want you to kind of understand. Let me see if I have a paint. My paint, maybe I'll be able to draw this just a little. So what I want you guys to understand what just happened. Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah, this is probably going to work. So we have a VNet 1 and I have another VNet 2. Okay, here I have one subnet that we created. Here we have another subnet. Okay, Now in this VNet 2 we have deployed two different virtual machines, VM1 and VM2. Okay, we enable peering between these two networks. So once you create the peering, all of the traffic for any of this machine we can talk to this VM right here. Okay, here there is a VM. These two VMs can directly talk to each other. But then what I did, when one of these VMs in here, I think we use VM2, where we have installed the routing services in that Windows server and make this as a network appliance, or network appliance, where what we have done, we have assigned a routing rule, okay, to this subnet. Routing rule where we said any traffic from this VM needs to go to that VM, and this VM we have also enabled our IP forwarding, so it knows where is the destination address, and that we have configured to go to that machine. So although we have peering enabled, we have configured our traffic flow from this VM to that VM, and then from here to that VM. I'm sorry about this really bad graphics here, but I think that's really important to understand. So before we close, we're also gonna go one last time to our resource groups, and we'll take a look at our resources that we have used. So let's go back home, resource groups. So we created two resources. If you look at L01, in the first resource groups we have two VMs. So actually this, well, you can call this the resource group 1. So RG1. So we have created two different resource groups, okay, and I have only one virtual network, and say this is the virtual network 1, okay, and call this one 2. Okay, then let's take a look at, do I have any routes? I do not have any routes assigned to this one. Let's look at the other resource group over here. In this one I have a route table that we created in this one, okay, and this route table, if you go this one, this route table is assigned to that particular VNet, okay, and next hop we have sent 10014. And so what is 10014? So go back one more time and let's take a look at the VM IPs. 10014 is this VM most likely, 10014. Okay, so VM2 is the machine where I have 10012, that IP address. So we have configured our routing. We have assigned that routing to this subnet really, and said anything that is coming out of this subnet, you send it to this particular virtual machine as the next hop. From there you send it over here, okay, and that's what we have verified in our lab. Okay, I hope you don't mind this extra set of information, although I probably, not a very good painter. This is the first time I'm using this paint, so I'll probably be better in the next time I use it. But hopefully this gives you a little bit better overview of what we have just done. This is very important concept, and please pay attention, do this lab over and over again, and make sure that you get this right. Networking is very important within Azure or anywhere, so please make sure that you understand everything. If you're preparing for the exam, good luck. If you like the video, give me a like, leave your comments and any ideas how I can improve. I would really appreciate that, and please subscribe. Thanks.